What if I told you there was a way that you could save and invest for college with zero taxes and zero student debt? Well, that's actually possible with something called a 529 plan. In today's video, I am going to break down everything you need to know in 5 minutes or less. So I just went ahead and started the timer. I got my notes so I don't get too far off track and stay within the time limit. So let's go ahead and break it down. So first, what is a 529 plan? A 529 plan is an investing account that allows you to save and invest for the purposes of education. It is primarily for college. However, some rules recently have changed it where you can use it for K through 12 educational expenses. But if you use it for K through 12, let's say you're doing private school or something like that, you can only take out $10,000 per year. Use it for college, you can take out as much as you want, so long as that it is educational expenses, qualified educational expenses. Now, how does this impact your financial aid? For college, it has a minimal impact on your financial aid. This is less significant, or more significant rather, if you are investing in something like a Roth IRA for your kid or a custodial account for your kid. Remember, I did a custodial account for my daughter and we did a whole video about that last week. So those are her assets, right? It is her retirement account, her custodial account, so they're going to look at that harder for financial aid. But a 529 plan is mine and it's for the benefit of her or whoever I decide to put on that particular account. Remember, when you are investing in a 529 plan, these are in usually index mutual funds, which means that I'm not getting the opportunity to choose my own stocks. So I can't invest in Apple, I can't invest in Nvidia inside of a 529 plan, which is actually pretty good because yes, I would have made more if I invested in those, but some of us aren't always the greatest at picking stocks. I make mistakes too, and I would hate to lose 40% on my daughter's college education or my son's college education. That would not be great. So a 529 plan, even though you don't get to pick your own stocks, it goes into a mutual fund, you're going to be right more often than you're not in those circumstances. And they also get less aggressive the closer you get to the kid's age. They'll ask you how old is the kid, what is their birthday, and it'll invest properly for them. You can also do one for yourself if you choose. If your kid doesn't go to college, because that's a question that always comes up, there are a few options that you have. Number one, you just switch the beneficiary. If you got 2 kids, switch it to kid number 2. Switch it to yourself. Switch it to your niece or your nephew or whoever you want it to go to. You can still use the money and spend it tax-free as that account grows for educational expenses. I don't know if I mentioned it before. If you use it for non-educational expenses, that's a 10% penalty, and you might also get hit with taxes too. So not the best thing. However, there is a rule that will start on January 1st of 2024, and that is you will have a lifetime amount of $35,000 that you can use and roll over into a Roth IRA for every beneficiary. Okay, so I can't take both my kids' 529s and make them into myself, right, and then give myself $70,000. What I can do though is if it's for the benefit of child A and child B and they don't go to school or they get a great scholarship and don't need the money, I can take $35,000 and roll it right into their own Roth IRA, which would be great. So we'll see if that occurs, but there is something that is new in case the kid doesn't go to college or you don't need the money or something like that. So it's not wasted if you put it inside a 529. Where can you open a 529 plan? There are a few options. Number one, these are run by individual states. So you can go to your own state's education website and open one there, or you can go to a national brokerage, Fidelity, Charles Schwab. I got mine at Fidelity just because I like all my stuff in one place. There can be some advantages and some additional tax benefits if you go with your state plan. However, every state is different. They have all different state laws. Speak to your state accountant on which one makes the absolute most sense for you. The other thing that you want to know is, as a parent or an auntie or grandpa, so on and so forth, again, you can put as much as you want, but watch out for the gift tax exclusion, which I mentioned earlier in the video. But remember, you don't always have to take care of 100% of the kids' college tuition, because one, college is way too expensive. Some people, when I've worked in practice, I've had clients that say, look, I just want to take care of 25% or half or 10%. Anything that you do now is going to lessen their student loan debt burden. And if you start early enough, don't forget the other ways of investing in your kid and giving them the gift of generational wealth is, you know, ponying up sometimes for test prep and making sure they're reading at night and things of that nature, because that's going to improve their grades, which can improve their odds of getting some sort of academic scholarship, because it is doable if you get half of it paid through from a scholarship, the other half from a 529, and you're able to mix and match and lower their student loan debt the day they get out of college, which can be an amazing gift, because instead of paying 10 years worth of student loan debt, right, the minute they get out and waiting until 28 or 30 to buy their first home, they can start that the minute they get out. And if you are also investing in a Roth IRA, which we've talked about, or a custodial account, they can graduate with $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 or more if you're investing for them. If you want to learn more about how that works and what type of things you can do with a custodial account, you want to check out this video right here.